All right. What is up, guys? We are here. We are here. So, what we got going on today? Wednesday home program. For the warm-up, you're going to run out for 2 minutes at an easy pace, and then you're going to cover the same distance back at a hard pace. So we've been using this as a warm-up, maybe like once a week. If you don't have or running, or if you're not able to run due to an injury, you can jog in place. You can do single unders for about 3 minutes. You can do a machine, so if you have access to a rower or a bike, you're more than welcome to go out and do that for 3 or 4 minutes. Just something to get the heart rate going a little bit and try and warm up the whole body. Then when you get back, you are going to do 90 seconds of alternating elbow to instep. So long lunge, drop the elbow down, reach up, get a little twist, other side, same thing. After 90 seconds worth of that, you're going to do 1 minute and 15 seconds of alternating Cossack squats. So, wide stance. Then from here, I'm going to sink that hip back, keep this heel down on the ground till I drop below parallel, stand up to the other side, same thing, find that below parallel position and stand. As you start to loosen up a little bit, try and bring the chest up a little bit more. So try not to reach so far forward when you're coming into the bottom of that squat. Then, lastly, you're going to do 1 minute of slow, narrow stance air squats. So, feet are narrower than your normal squat. If you can, touch them together. And then from there, I'm just going to go nice and slow, try and get full range of motion, really just trying to open up my ankles a little bit and make myself uncomfortable in a different style of squat. So, that's your warm up. Then, the strength work. So, we're going to do 3 sets of each of the following movements per leg. So you're going to do a 10-second front scale on each leg. And for this, think about it just as a little bit more of a warm-up. So again, front scale, we got the legs straight out in front of me, trying to balance, keeping this leg nice and straight. You can bend this leg if you need to scale a little bit. You can do like a little partial karate chop. So you've got a 10-second front scale on each leg 3 times. When you're done, you're going to do 3 sets, 10 per leg, of a lateral crossover step up. So find an object that puts you at about parallel as far as the squat goes. We are going to do crossover. So I'm going to keep this foot facing forward. This leg's going to come all the way up and over. And this is going to be really intense on the glute and the outer part of the hip. And I'm going to step all the way up to full extension. And then I'm going to come down nice and slow. So it's an offset squat that really is going to overload the posterior chain, which is nice. Be careful on the object that you're standing on. This box is a little tippy for me. So again, when you're going to stand on something for this, your weight's going to be a little bit off. So make sure that it's stable before you do anything. But again, stand, trying not to push off this back leg, and then coming all the way back down in a controlled fashion. And again, you don't have to do those crazy slow, just at a solid tempo. If they feel good, go ahead and weight them up. Hold the kettlebell in the front rack, anything like that would be totally fine. And then lastly, we're going to do 3 sets of 10 pistols per leg. And you're going to do 10 pistols on the right, followed by 10 pistols on the left. And then you can take a rest as needed in between sets and in between legs. So, a couple scaling options. First thing I want you guys to do is sit to a target. So if you can, set a target that's going to be about parallel. So when I sit down, this is probably going to be pretty good for me. I'm almost in a parallel squat here. But what I'm looking to do is keep this other foot elevated the whole time. I'm going to sit, gently tap my butt, and then stand back up. And to make it harder, you add a little bit more range of motion. To make it easier, you take a little bit of range of motion off. But what I don't want to see is you sitting to a target where the target is that. So make sure that the target's not so high that you're not really getting a squat stimulus out of it. So if you need to, what you can do, find an object to hold on to. And then what I would do is I would bring an object that's about parallel. So again, this box for me, I would bring it closer. And then I would just hold on to the object a little bit as I go through my range of motion, going through a full depth squat. And again, you can do that with or without a target, depending on how much assistance you need. So that's your strength work, a lot of leg stuff. Now, for the workout, guess what? More leg stuff. So what we're gonna do, you have 5 rounds for time. You're gonna go for a 200-meter run. If you're not gonna do a 200-meter run, you are going to do either a minute of mountain climbers or a minute of single unders. Because again, a 200-meter run is hopefully gonna take you plus or minus a minute, 15 seconds on either side. After that, you've got 15 front squats. Then you've got 10 bar facing burpees. 18-minute time cap. So this workout is just a long grinder. So again, we're looking at probably, even on the fastest side, I would say maybe like 10 or 12 minutes if you are absolutely cooking. And most people, again, you're looking at probably 15 to 18 minutes. So that middle time domain, so you don't want to go too fast out of the gate. We also don't want these front squats to be too heavy. So you should be able to do the front squats in 2 sets, almost the entire workout. So when you're choosing your weight, you are planning on taking a break at about halfway. So get 8 or 9 reps in, take a break, knock it through. The weight that you select, you could go unbroken if you want to, but it may not be the best strategy or feels decision. So we'll leave that one up to you guys. And then after that, you've got your 10 bar facing burpees. So let's talk front squats. If you're doing it with a kettlebell or a dumbbell, we're gonna goblet squat. So you're gonna keep that object right in the midline here, keep it close to the chest. And then all I'm gonna do is normal squat stance, so the feet outside the hips, toes out. When I sit down, really try and use the object to help keep you upright. So almost kind of put it in your collarbone right here to help keep your chest up as you go through that full range of motion squat. Same exact concept as if I had a barbell. So if I have a barbell, I'm gonna relax my fingers, get that object resting on my collarbones, and I'm gonna try and use my elbows as a reference point so that as I sit down, the elbow stays in place all the way through the squat. And again, all we're really trying to do there is make that weight as close to our center of mass as possible. So the further the weight gets away from my shoulders, the heavier it's going to feel. So I want it to feel as light as possible, which means getting it back uncomfortably far into the foot. And then you've got a bar facing burpee. So a good old normal bar facing burpee, chest to deck, face the bar or the object, 2-foot jump, over to the other side, rinse and repeat. So that's your workout. When you guys are done there, our core work today is 100 Russian twists. That is per side. So it's a lot of Russian twists. When you are doing a Russian twist, keep in mind, the name says it all, twist. So when you're going through that movement, I want to have my feet up in the air, so my heels are up off the ground, and then I want to twist. So I want to take my elbow, try and touch it to the ground on my side, come back through the middle, same thing. Touch the elbow down on the other side, so that my chest is actually changing directions as I'm going through that Russian twist. If you need to scale, you can drop your feet down to the ground, and you can just have your heels touching the ground, going through your Russian twist that way. Then all you have left is a 90-second pigeon pose on each side, followed by a 90-second saddle pose. So for the pigeon pose, again, elbow's gonna come up, or sorry, elbow, not elbow, this is your knee. My knee and my foot are gonna come up nice and high. I'm gonna let that foot come across here. I wanna try my best to keep this foot up around my hip, and then I'm just gonna sink into that stretch as much as I can or as much as feels comfortable. I'm always trying to avoid pain in the knee. So if you feel any pain in the knee, elevate that hip, drop the foot back down, and then we can drop down to our elbows here if it feels good. 90 seconds on either side, and then when you're done there, we've got a 90-second saddle pose. So a lot of glute and quad stretching to wrap up a very glute and quad heavy day. So saddle pose, sitting on the tops of the feet, and then just leaning back for that good old total lower body stretch. So that's your training for Wednesday. Enjoy. We will see you guys hopefully back in the gym soon, or if not, we will keep seeing your face on Zoom and check-ins and all those awesome things at the gym. So as always, tag us pals.fitness, Forged by Zeus, and we will see you guys back tomorrow.